Well, the world seems very unstable right now with wars in the Middle East and Ukraine and concerns about China and Iran and Korea. A guy who has played international chess in the past was in the mid-state today. Former CIA Director David Petraeus sat down with our Seth Kaplan for an exclusive one-on-one interview.
I started off with the biggest question of all, whether it only feels this way to some of us or whether the world really is a more dangerous place than it's been in generations.
I think it's accurate to say that the U.S. and our Western allies and partners face a greater number of challenges right now and more complex challenges than at any time since the end of World War II.
On the other hand,
I think we can deal with it. I think we have the capacity to do so. I think we need to lead the world in doing that.
I asked what he thinks folks should know about key conflict zones, Israel and Gaza.
Hamas does need to be destroyed. I think it is the equivalent of the Islamic State in that it's an extremist army that is irreconcilable. I think its political wing does need to be dismantled. But we clearly have to ask, then what?
A question he says America didn't ask after he commanded the successful Iraq war surge in 2003 and 2004.
Invaded Iraq, took down the regime, and our post-conflict planning was not sufficient.
So religious extremists ended up back in power, Ukraine and Russia.
You have to show that willingness to support allies and partners because that reverberates in other parts of the world. We need to help Ukraine convince Putin that Russia will not be able to outsuffer the Ukrainians, the Europeans, and the Americans.
China and Taiwan, where President Biden has said the U.S. would assist Taiwan.
That's important because it establishes the perception of our will.
Petraeus spoke with Dickinson ROTC cadets. He told me military recruitment has suffered because of low unemployment and thus more non-military opportunities, the obesity crisis, which means more young people physically unfit to serve, and less willingness than in the past to serve. He says military leaders are working on the second two.
I think that they will make inroads on this. And I suspect, frankly, the gradual increase in unemployment will help the military as well.
Holly Petraeus led efforts to help military members deal with the fallout from the Great Recession. Now?
It seems every year we hear predictions there'll be another recession at this point.
That hasn't happened, but credit card debt levels are high.
So Americans are pretty fragile at the moment.
Another key moment for this key couple. In Carlisle, Seth Kaplan, ABC 27 News.